Stephanie. Welcome to this presentation on how to use free Wave accounting software. I did a search, Google search on free accounting software and the reviews on it and how they were rated, and Wave had the best reviews. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. And since I'm a consultant for Mission Community Services Corporation, I thought, you know, people trying to start a new business might really appreciate saving costs by having free accounting software. And it's actually better than a step up from the spreadsheet, which some people still use. Wave is a company headquartered in Toronto, Canada, that provides financial services and software for small businesses. Wave was purchased by H&R Block in 2019. Wave accounting software is a continuous bank and credit card download feature that other vendors charge $15 to $30 a month for. I'm speaking of QuickBooks Online. That's the only one I'm familiar with. And that is invaluable for a person. I mean, it makes your accounting so much easier. Free features of Wave include invoicing, accounting, and banking, which I'm not sure about the banking part, but I know you can do the invoicing and the accounting. You can pay a fee and get payments, which means you send out an invoice and your customer pays by credit card through Wave. If you want payroll, Wave has payroll option, $35 a month. That's not too bad. QuickBooks Online has gone up to, probably it's going up to $50 a month per payroll, plus so much per active employee. You can also pay for bookkeeping support, $149 a month. QuickBooks Online offers the same service, about the same price, or you could get Wave accounting and payroll coaching for $329, or you could just do it yourself, which is what I did, but I am a CPA, so I know about accounting. But I think anyone can use accounting software. It's just income, expense, you know, that's the easiest way to look at it. Then there is a balance sheet and a profit and loss. People get confused talking about balance sheets, but it's easy to understand once you familiarize yourself with it. All right, so our agenda will be the Wave, finding the Wave website and how to create an account, how to add a new business in Wave, how to import your bank and credit card transactions into Wave, how to categorize your accounting transactions in Wave, how to add sales tax in Wave, how to add accounts, how to reconcile your bank and credit card statements, how to generate and print financial reports, Wave integrations, how to use Wave Help, which I have to say I like much better than QuickBooks Online Help, which is because QuickBooks Online, there's so many different products and so many different sources of information and so many different types of customers that it's just overwhelming. You know, it's hard to find the answer on QuickBooks Online Help, but much easier on Wave Help. Other features of Wave, we're going to summarize everything, and then we're going to have a question and answer period, but you can ask questions all along. Feel free to jump in. So, did anybody bring their computer? No? Okay. Well, you can just do a Google search for Wave Accounting, and this will come up, waveapps.com. This is the page that you'll see, and I've highlighted a green arrow pointing to sign up for free. And the first thing you do is enter your email and a password, and then click Get Started. Then Wave wants you to tell it about you and your business. You put in your name, your business name. What does your business do? And there's a arrow to the right where it's a down arrow, you click on it, and there are several types of businesses listed, and you just select the one that's closest to your business. Then you choose a starting point. To create this presentation, I acted like I was a new business and totally created a new business. So all the screens you see are what you will go through when you sign on and create your own account. So we are going to go to Manager Accounting. That is the goal of this presentation. Tell us how you currently do your books. I put in there, I do it manually, for example, spreadsheets. The next question, do you work with a bookkeeper or accountant? No, I prefer doing it on my own. Do you run payroll? I don't need to run payroll. Then Wave will help you organize your books for your specific type of business. How long have you been in business? What type of business do you have? Again, a drop-down arrow. The only selection there is sole proprietor, corporation, or partnership. And I went with sole proprietorship. Do you have a business bank account? That is one thing I would strongly encourage anyone starting their own business to do. Don't mix personal and business expenses. Open a business account and actually open a business credit card account and connect both the ways. So often, or sometimes, the business owner will pay business expenses personally. And so then that's tricky. How do you get that in Wave? Well, you will have to do a journal entry, a manual entry. And you would, we'll go into journal entries later. You would debit the expense and you would credit owner investment. Which doesn't really sound that hard, but that's just what you must do if you pay an expense outside of your business accounts. So, but I have a business account, except for I didn't use it for this presentation. We're only going to do manual entry. So the next thing Wave will want you to do is verify your email. We'll send you an email and you click on it and voila, your email address has been verified. Then you sign into Wave. Here's your sign in. There's my dummy email. Well, it is actual email address that I don't use. I send all my Facebook notifications there. And all right, so you log in. Be sure and remember your email and your password. And this is what you'll see, the dashboard. When you have information in there, it will show your cash flow coming in and out of your business. And you will see connect your bank account or credit card in quite a few places. So next you add your business. So under personal, you click on create a new business. And then you enter the company name again, select the type of business, the country, because after you select the country, it will go to the US dollar instead of the franc or something like that. Then you put in your company name again, type of business. And then this helps Wave display the right account, saving you time. Choose the option that best represents your business. Non-store realtors, retailers. Okay, that's someone who has an online store. And then the country, US. Again, type of organization. I selected sole proprietorship. Boy, it just goes over. It's kind of repetitive, isn't it? So then you'll come to this screen when you successfully entered your business, and there it is, test 2. And see the left navigation column, launchpad, dashboard, sales and payments, purchases, accounting, banking, payroll, reports, Wave Advisor. If I scroll down, you can even import your books into H&R Block Tax Software. I noticed that the other day. And prepare your own return if you want. How to import your bank and credit card transactions into Wave. This is the Launchpad screen, and you click import data automatically. Next screen, connect your bank or credit card. Let's go. Then you enter the name of your bank, and you will basically log on to your bank account or credit card account. But Wave uses Plaid to connect your account, and it doesn't sell your personal info. So here's where you enter in your credentials. I must have linked my bank account to some degree, but anyway, this is just, it shows all the accounts you have, and all of them will download into Wave. And they'll all be on one transaction screen. So next, we're going to discuss how to categorize transactions in Wave. So we will click on Manage Transactions. Now, this is true. You're the expert when it comes to your business. Categorizing transactions shows you where your money's going, and Wave learns your preferences, so you do fewer things manually. I strongly advise to double check the categories though, because it takes a while and you just want to make sure that it is correct. But you can always fix it. It's very easy to fix things that are categorized incorrectly in Wave. And you can create new categories in seconds right from the transactions page. You can easily add sales tax or categorize multiple transactions with the bulk categorization feature. You can split transactions into multiple categories. So now we're going to add manual transactions. And Wave also has this feature where you could scan a receipt, business receipt, to your computer and then upload it and embed it in Wave. However, I wouldn't do it. That's extra time. I just put my receipts in an envelope for the whole year. I do not want to upload it to Wave, but it's your choice. So this is the transaction screen. And you, like I said, I'm going to do it manually because my my transactions did not download. I didn't want them to download. But again, at upper right, you can see connect your bank. All right, so add income is one of the tabs. So then, and then the next tab is add expense. And the next tab is more. And under more, you can add journal transaction. So that's a good one to remember. Again, you can connect your bank or upload a bank statement, which they really should call it import a bank statement. Well, import bank transaction. Some banks will not allow you to download directly into accounting software. And so then the only way you can get the transactions into Wave is download this. You know, it could be a QuickBooks file. There's 4 different types that you need to request to download to get those transactions into Wave. But I would go with a bank that allowed the automatic download fee. So now we're going to add some income manually. This is the screen that will come up on every single transaction that's downloaded from your bank or that you manually enter. So it's usually got the date. Well, if it comes from a bank, it's going to be the date the bank has for that transaction. And if a bank account was linked to this account, it would show the bank account on the left side. You know, instead of cash on hand, it would have the name of the bank. And you don't need to add an account for your bank. Once it's connected, Wave will automatically put that bank account in your chart of accounts. And then, so I said $5,000. And I said it was owner investment because I'm just starting my business. And it's a deposit. So this category is where you categorize the transaction, and the drop down arrow on the right, you start typing what you think it is, and it will come up if it's there. And if it's not, I'll show you how to add it if it's not there and you really, really want it later. And note this split transaction, oops. Split transaction, that's where you say you into, well, I'm going to give you an example later. Say add expense. We're going to add an expense now. Well, this is what the screen looks like. See where it says under category, uncategorized expense. It will say the same. If it doesn't know what it is, it will say uncategorized income or uncategorized expense. So the arrow is showing you a split transaction tab. So this is the split transaction. I said under description, I would put the vendor or the customer name. Office Depot, and the entire transaction is $300. But I wanted to categorize it in 2 separate accounts. So 250 was computer hardware, 50 was office supplies because I bought paper. How to add sales tax and Wave. So this is the Launchpad screen again on that left navigation panel that I showed you earlier. There are many ways to get to the right screens too. You don't have to always go to the Launchpad. You can click under settings from the left navigation panel. But I went to the launch pad for this presentation. So anyway, click on add sales tax. And this says you can include sales tax automatically on estimates and invoices and track them on expenses too, which I would not bother doing that. It doesn't matter. I don't even know why they say that. The sales tax report summarizes everything for you, so you always know where you stand. You could customize sales taxes on each invoice. And you need to indicate whether it's recoverable or compounding. Now, a tax is recoverable. Say you are a reseller, you don't have your certificate with you or something when you go to buy some product. So you end up paying sales tax when you shouldn't. You should get the wholesale price, but some vendors say, hey, you don't have your certificate, you're paying sales tax. Well, you can get a refund of that on your sales tax return that you file with the state. So that tax is recoverable. I would say every tax is. If I added sales tax, I would say they're all recoverable. So here I'm creating a sales tax for Paso Robles. This is the screen that you will always see when you add sales tax. The abbreviation is Paso, description, Paso Robles, San Luis Obispo County. And I check this tax is recoverable. They have district tax too. The thing about QuickBooks Online, it will automatically update these rates. Whereas I don't think, I'm pretty sure Wave doesn't. You will have to go in there and manually update the sales tax rate if it changes. And here's the tax rate, and you just enter the number without a percent sign. And then under the sales tax screen, you'll see the tax you created, and the pencil icon will let you edit it, or the trash can icon will let you delete it. Another way to add sales tax in Wave is click settings in that left navigation menu. It's at the very bottom almost. Click create a sales tax, fill out the required fields, then click save. And if you need to make edits or delete a sales tax, go back to settings and select sales tax and do what you need to do. How to add accounts. We're going to customize accounts. One thing I would recommend is you familiarize yourself with the chart of accounts that Wave set up for you. Just so you know, because when you're typing in that first few letters, when you're trying to categorize it, maybe you'll have a better idea of, oh yeah, that one's there. I need to just enter something a little different. It will come up, because otherwise you'll add an account and there's already one in there for it, and then you'll have to, you can't delete it, you make it inactive. I've done that myself. All right, so this is the chart of accounts. You can also get there from the left navigation panel. It's out there, you just click on it and it will take you here to this screen. Then you'll see the tabs on the top: assets, liabilities and credit cards, income, expenses, equity. Now, assets are, do you know what assets are? Good job, okay. Liabilities and credit cards, do you know what liabilities are? Accounts payable. Income, yes, there's different types of income. And expenses, there are more expenses than any other category. Equity, Equity is owner investment or owner drawings, or it's just owner equity, which is usually what you see. If you have a loss in your business every year, you're going to have negative owner equity. But usually owners invest, they invest $40,000, and then you have a $10,000 loss every year for 2 years. So then it's going to show like 40,000 minus 20. So your net equity is 20. That's how that works. So there's income, cash on hand. See, if I had linked my bank account to this, it would show those bank accounts there. And this is how to add a new account. You can, you can add it under the category. If anyone's familiar with QuickBooks Online, they have money in transit here, which is the same as the undeposited funds account in QuickBooks Online. So here are liabilities. Accounts payable, that's what you owe. If you enter bills, you would need to enter a bill to have an account payable. And you would have to issue an invoice to have an accounts receivable, which I would recommend if you want really an accurate set of books and be able to track everything, what's coming due, if, you know, what your customers owe you and what you owe your vendors. That's called the accrual method. It is the best for keeping your books. The cash method is easier because that just is money, income received, expenses paid. That's the cash basis. So here, this is a sales tax liability account there. Here are some income accounts, product sales. That would be if you're a reseller, you buy product and you sell it, you would record the income you received as a product sales. Payments from, now if you just provide services, I would use sales myself, even though this says payments from your customers for products. I would rephrase that if it were me designing this. I would say payments from your customers for services that your business sold. And I would use the top one for products that you sold. Cost of goods sold. This is the expense tab. And one of the expenses is cost of goods sold. This is the equity tab, business owner contribution and drawing, owner investment and drawings. If you put money in, that's owner investment. If you charge a personal expense on your business account, that's a owner draw. You can take money out of your business account if you want, if you're a sole proprietor. And that would also be considered an owner draw. Then retained earnings and profit. That's the one I was talking about, where it would be $40,000 you put in, 2 years of $20,000 loss. So then your net retained earnings would be $20,000. So you can add an account this way too. There are several, you can add an account under each category, the top tabs, which might be easier for you, or you can just go to the top here and add a new account. This is what the screen will look like. And I did the accounting for this lady, and she had tried to do it herself, that was a disaster. She said everything was a bank account, you know, and it wasn't. It was an expense, but she said they're all bank accounts. So that was really quite a mess. So make sure you have the correct account type there. Is it an asset? Is it a liability? Is it income? Is it expense? Or is it equity? You'll save yourself a lot of trouble. So then you name, can't touch the screen. You name the new account you want to put under operating expenses, like cleaning or laundry. I added one for laundry. There was one in way for cleaning, but not laundry. So I added laundry. This is the one I added, laundry. Oh boy, let's see. No, I'll show you. Okay, so that's that screen. How to add accounts that one way. This, you can add a category from your transaction screen where your income and your expenses download from the bank. This is that screen. So this is where I added laundry. I typed in A1 laundry. It's a withdrawal. And I just typed in those words laundry, LAUN, and it said no results found. So then you can click on add a new category. So that's where I added laundry. Now this is a different screen. I'm adding a prepaid vehicle insurance account so I can show you how to do a journal entry. Account type was under the asset. It's an asset. Anytime you pay anything in advance, I'm not sure how you pay your car insurance, but some people pay an annual premium. That would be an asset. And then each month you would divide that lump sum by 1/12 and account for an expense. I'll show you the journal entry later. If somebody pays you in advance for rent, like say you want to rent an apartment from you for 4 months, and they give you 4 months worth of rent, you have to account for that as a liability because you did not earn that money yet. So it's a liability. Whereas if you pay for an expense in advance, it's an asset. Now we're going to add a journal transaction because I'm saying October insurance expense. This is the journal entry screen for all journal entries. You put in the date and usually it's the end of the period. My friend is a bookkeeper for a man that owns all these restaurants. And they do inventory. They count all the food items every week. So she's making a journal entry every week to cost of goods sold. But typically you don't have to make that many journal entries. I would say monthly, quarterly, or yearly to make adjusting journal entries. So I put in October 31st, the end of the month, because I'm recording October insurance expense. Under description, I put the name of the vendor, State Farm, account, insurance, vehicles. Debit is for expenses and assets. There are debits and credits. You use a debit for assets and expenses, and credits are used for liability and owner's equity. And the debits and credits must equal each other, or you will not be able to save this journal entry. So I debited insurance expense, and I credited this asset, prepaid vehicle insurance, to reduce the prepaid asset and increase the insurance expense that I am recording in my books now. And at the bottom, 139 total debits equal 139 total credits. How to reconcile your bank and credit card statements. This is one thing that not one customer that I've helped at MCSC has done. Not one. Which, not one. And I've been helping since 2020. It's imperative that you do it because your way the books should parallel your bank statement. They should agree, exactly agree. That's what a reconciliation is. You compare the bank statement to your books. The beginning balance should be the same. The ending balance should be the same. The deposits and the withdrawals should be exactly the same as your bank statement. And that is the best way to find your errors because they won't balance. You won't be able, they won't reconcile. And so that's how you find errors. And it's so simple. It's really kind of crazy that people don't do it, but especially if you use a business account or a business credit card for your business and make journal entries for the other items. So this is the screen that comes up, and see, you can watch video up there. Wade will show you how to do it. I just have a cash on hand account because I did not download my bank transactions into Wave. And oh, another thing I should tell you, make sure your accounting is caught up. You've categorized everything before you try to do a reconciliation, or that it won't balance, you know, it won't work. You need to have everything accounted for the month that you want to reconcile. And I would reconcile it when you get your monthly bank statement, then the next month after you have the bank statement, reconcile. So my balance in the cash on hand account, this is the ending balance, pretty sure, 3,522. And then you click on view reconciled transactions. Here, they remind you, get your bank statement first. This is what Wade has for the transactions for October. 5,000 in as owner investment under debit. Prepaid insurance, that's a credit because I paid a lump sum. But, this is kind of different. Bank debits and credits are different than accounting record debits and credits. So, well, not too off. Okay, so anyway, item one, I sold something for $500. I bought something for $300. It should say computer and ink. And I bought some inventory. All right, so, and the starting balance is 0. And my ending balance is 3,522. And the spreadsheet that I kept for cash on hand matches Wave. So really all you have to do is enter 2 numbers. I mean, Enter the ending balance as it appears on your statement, because it will be on your bank statement. Ending balance is 3,522, and you enter the ending balance date on your bank statement. Voila, my account is reconciled. If it's not reconciled, it will show the difference, and then you know you have to find that error. And it's not that hard. I mean, sometimes it is kind of hard, but especially if you wait for 3 years to reconcile your accounts, you're going to have a difficult time. But if you reconcile your bank and credit card statement every month, you will save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of time trying to find the errors. How to generate and print financial reports. Here are the reports that are available. This will make your business look very professional. You can generate a profit and loss and a balance sheet, cash flow statement. They look nice. You can take it to a bank if you want to borrow money. Take it to your tax preparer when it's time to have your taxes prepared. People don't understand a balance sheet, but it simply is, you have these assets up here. Where do they come from? This inventory, did you charge it? Or did you pay for it with that money you invested in your company? Because the assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. That's how that works. That's why they call it a balance sheet. You put in the date range. That first box you could click, you could change the year. And after you select the year, then it will automatically put in the current period of that year you selected, 1/1/2022 to, at this point, I enter transactions on 10/20/2022. So that is what the date it put in there. Now, where it says report type, you can select cash or accrual. And down here, you can select summary or details. I like details because then you can see more information. And if you change the date, on the screen, you could change the date if you wanted to, or you could change to the cash method just to see what that looks like. And then click update report. And if you want to print it out, you would click on export up there in the right-hand corner, click on PDF. That will put it down at the left bottom side of your screen for you to print out. There's a printer icon up there. Make sure your printer's on. And here are there are many reports available in Wave. They're kind of covered up here with all the people that are here today. Sales tax report, customer reports, detail report, trial balance, and the account, all the accounting that you did for a year, which is called the general ledger. Wave integration. Some people use Skype. I wanted to show you on the left navigation panel, you'll see at the bottom right above settings is integration. So you can use, Wave will integrate with Square, Stripe, Shopify, other items. How to use Wave Help. I love Wave Help. It's a little help chat box in the lower right-hand corner. You just click on that. You type in your question, how do I make a journal entry? It will bring up these results. Learn how to reconcile, fix reconciliation. No, that's not quite what I wanted. How to create a journal transaction. That's what I would like. Or you could select edit journal transaction. All the information you might ever need is there. However, if you have QuickBooks Online, which is pricey, but you can talk to a live person. They will help you. Whereas if you use Wave, I have not figured out how to talk to a live person. But this help chat box it's answered any question I had. There are the instructions for creating a journal entry. Click accounting in the left navigation menu. Then transactions, click more, then add journal transaction. Select the accounts you want to debit and credit and enter the amounts. It just walks you through the process. Other features of Wave. The left navigation panel, sales and payments. You would go into sales and that's where you issue that invoice. Purchases. If you had inventory, you would enter it there. Accounting, that will take you to the transaction page. Reports will take you to the profit and loss, balance sheet, and all those. Other things you can do, add a customer, add a vendor, customize your invoices, invite a guest collaborator. That is, you can have your book set up, but if you want someone else to do your bookkeeping for you, you can send them an invitation. And then they will have the capacity to log into your account and do your books for you. So that's nice if you need help. Under sales and payments, you can do estimates, invoices, recurring invoices, which might be nice if you have any customer that you need to bill every month. You can produce a customer statement. Lots of things. Purchases, you could enter a bill for your accounts payable, liability. In summary, I would recommend you use separate business and credit card accounts, connect the bank and credit card accounts to Wave, categorize the asset, liability, equity, income, and expense transactions, learn how to add accounts. I have to say too that you can Google if you don't know how to enter a journal entry for cost of goods sold or whatever, just Google it. You will see lots of help. I mean, a lot of people will tell you how to make that journal entry. I do it a lot. Yeah, I can't remember everything I learned in accounting many years ago. I just Google it, and that is a big help. So you will learn how to add accounts, learn how to make journal entries, reconcile your bank and credit card statements monthly, and use the reports available in Wave. We're at the end. Does anyone have any questions? I'll try to answer them. No. Did I cover everything?
I guess so.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm currently using Wave,
Oh,
and I like it. It works well.
Oh.
One of the things that I wasn't sure how to do correctly is that, say, at the end of a month, last couple of days of the month, I write a check and I enter it into the system so that, you know, it shows in my Wave accounting. But then when it comes back from the bank, it doesn't match that up. It puts it in the next month.
right.
So I'm not sure what the proper way to do that.
That's totally fine. It's an outstanding check. It hadn't gone through your banking system completely. So that is totally correct for it to show up in the next month.
Yeah, I think it does, but if I put it into the wave accounting for the previous month, then it comes out as a second check with that same.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Duplicates. So I wasn't sure if there was a way around it.
Hmm,
Because if I wait for it to come back from the bank, then my monthly report is not accurate
oh,
for that month. Anyway,
oh, I see, because you've actually incurred the expense, but the software doesn't know it because the bank hasn't said the expense has been charged to your bank account. Has it been subtracted from your bank account? I see.
I wrote the check in this month and then the bank got it in this month.
Uh-huh.
I would not enter the check
Mhm.
So don't write any checks after the 20th.
till it's the 20th. Yeah.
That's it, that's it. And tell them to be sure to cash the check. Say, don't wait to cash this check. I use wave, don't wait to cash the check. Or I'll penalize you. I'll subtract it.
Denise?
I would say don't enter that check until it shows up on your bank feed. Yeah. Then you won't have that problem. Do you have your check register there so you can remember? I mean, I get that checkbook that has the copy.
Mhm.
So I know exactly what check I wrote. Do you have check copies so you would know?
No, but it is nice when it comes back from the bank, it actually has an image
Oh,
that it brings back to wave account.
that's wonderful.
So that's nice.
So you could use that to enter the check. Well, it's gonna show up on your bank feed anyway. And so then you could categorize it at that time. And then you won't have that problem.
I just worked around it by deleting one of those
Oh,
when it came back.
oh, okay. Yeah, you could do that too. I am lazy, really. So I just wait for it to come in on the bank feed. And just take care of it that way. But of course, if you issue an invoice or enter a bill, then you can't just, well, in QuickBooks Online, it will match. If you've issued an invoice in QuickBooks Online and you've been paid, first of all, you go into and receive payment in QuickBooks. And then when you go back to your bank fee transaction screen, it will match it for you. Have you seen that in your wave?
No, I don't believe I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you paid a bill, if I enter a bill in QuickBooks Online and then I pay the bill, and then it comes in on the bank feed, again, it will match it. Ask me if I want to match those. And I do, because otherwise you're going to have duplicated income and expenses if you don't match those. So that's good. All right, any other questions? What kind of business do you have?
What to do with, executive assistant, personal assistant. Currently have 3 businesses that I work for.
Oh, that's fun.
And I also, I do a lot of their bookkeeping stuff as well,
Oh,
but some of them don't have accounting software, they use spreadsheets for them.
this is perfect for them.
Yeah, so I should do that, because some of them give me cash to pay for things. So I have a cash ledger that I have to do, which with this, how would you anticipate that? Is there a cash?
Well, you have to manually enter all those transactions, then cash on hand. Enter manually all those transactions into Wave and have your separate running spreadsheet of like petty cash. So much in, so much out, and keep the running balance and then compare it with your Wave.
So that's the cash on hand on it, because that's pretty much it.
that's what it is. Or you could add petty cash if you want to, but you could just use cash on hand. That's already there. They don't want you to deposit that money into a checking account or anything.
That's the problem I have with, I have one owner that he has separate businesses. And he wants to use one bank account for all three of his businesses, and it's really necessary with everything.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. QuickBooks Online will not let you do that.
Yeah. So I got him to do two bank accounts so far, but I need to do a third. So I've kind of had to.
I know QuickBooks Online, they did offer you, if you had more than one business, you could just pay $5 more for the additional business. But with Wave, you can have as many businesses as you want, all on your dashboard, all separate. So, all right. What kind of business do you have, David?
I'm a part of a startup nonprofit, caregiving. Okay.
Well, I think that's nice that Wave has a nonprofit accounting capability. I'm not sure QuickBooks Online does. I don't know, but yeah, so I think the Wave, I do nonprofit accounting for one nonprofit and it works out pretty well. And how about you, sir? I don't know your name. But
I'm Larry. I've had a sole proprietorship of some form since 1976.
have you reconciled those accounts? No.
But, and I've never done accounting programs,
Oh,
and I've had businesses formed as trusts and LLC, and,
wow.
but I'm here today because of what I anticipate doing, kind of like him, to create a business that's a philanthropist
Oh, nice.
to support nonprofits.
Very nice. Yeah, Wave's all set up for that. So,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
yeah. I didn't go over any of those type of accounts
Sure.
or the chart of accounts for nonprofit. I told Gabrielle that I would need to do a separate presentation to go
Sure.
over nonprofit accounting, but I'm willing to if anybody wants me to. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you for coming. My name's Denise Ravel. I'm the accounting and tax consultant for MCSC. If you want a free consultation with me, you can go through Gabrielle, or you can send me an email or call me. Thank you so much for coming. This has been really fun.